Imagine you are tired and you find a cup of your favorite coffee on the table. In spite of knowing it is steaming hot, you still have a sip. And immediately, you take the cup away from yourself. Why did that happen? It's because your tongue was burnt. Something similar happens when we touch a hot object unknowingly. We immediately take off our hand. The word immediately is important here. Do we really think about what we need to do next? No, we don't. Without even looking at the object or waiting for a fraction of a second, we just take our hand away. So what's common in these incidences? Well, all these spontaneous reactions by us are governed by the next tissue in our list, that is the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue makes up the brain, the spinal cord, and also comprises of the major nerves running throughout the body. The tissue is made up of magical cells which have the ability to receive stimuli and transmit the necessary signals of various types. It transmits the signals throughout the body rapidly, which is possible because of the cells making up the tissue. So what exactly are these magical cells? These are called the neurons. When we zoom in the nervous tissue further, we find various types of neurons. Let's select a typical type to study the structure better. We select the most commonly and widely found structure of a typical neuron. In this, the central structure is the actual cell body called the soma. It contains all the necessary equipment for appropriate functioning of the cell. These include the nucleus, the endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and so on. However, for receiving and transmitting the signals, the neuron requires additional components as well. So these short branches that we find here are the receiving centers. They are called dendrites. What are they? These dendrites are basically very good listeners. So they keep receiving the signals from the other neurons. Now if there are good listeners, then there have to be good talkers as well, right? Yes, for this, we have this long, slender projection called the axon. It is a good talker and thus passes on the signal, that is the electrical impulse, to the next neuron. The axon, for passing the impulses faster, has a covering around itself with breaks at regular intervals. These are called as myelin sheaths, and the breaks in between are referred to as nodes of Ranvier. You may be wondering that if the signal has to pass very quickly, why should there be breaks in it? Well, the logic is that the breaks enable the signal to jump, and this leap makes the signal travel really fast. Well, this type of neuron is referred to as multipolar neuron. Similarly, taking a look back at the others, we find this one with two major branches. One single dendrite giving rise to many other dendrites, while on the other side we have a single axon. Such a type is referred to as a bipolar neuron. Lastly, we have this type in which the soma is centrally located at one side, while the long process is continuous, bearing dendrites at one end and axon at the other. This type is referred to as unipolar neuron. Well, all these types together make up the nervous system that masters every system and organ in our body. Decisions of the nervous system help us perform all the functions knowingly and also controls processes inside our body without us really noticing it.